is David Faustino.
Hello, this is Andrew Chalmers, the writer and doctor in Doctor Who, Doctor.
This is Dr. Stevo.
Everybody, this is the Cavernator.
This is Inspector Gadget.
Hey, what's cracking, y'all? It's your boy J-Rock.
Good evening, folks. This is James Duval.
This is Jeremy Taggart.
This is Kim Possible.
I'm Chris Holden-Reed.
Hey, this is Pat Mastroianni from Degrassi.
This is the evil Dr. Bad Vibes. Again, this is Messy Bear. And this is more from X-Men.
Hey, this is Andrew Gazzess.
This is Sean Gunn.
Hi, this is Robert Carradine.
It's Tammy Stronach from The Neverending Story.
Hey, it's Zach Callison.
Hey, I'm DJ Jenny Rock.
And I'm Neil Young.
I'm Commander Shepard.
Ralph Garman here. You're listening to Droids Canada. You've made an excellent choice. You have chosen wisely.
Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
That means there's a lot of fucking swearing.
Hello. I am out of my element. I am here at Frightmare on the Falls. I'm here with Danny Pintauro. So, Pintauro of Cujo fame here at Frightmare on the Falls. Now, I do have a couple quick questions for you. Now, with Cujo, you were very young when you were in that movie, and, Rabid Dog terrorized the city. Now, that movie has become an iconic name. Just as if there's something that is an animal that's evil, it becomes Cujo. It even spawned the name of a beloved Toronto Maple Leaf goalie, his nickname as well. Now, how long did it take for you getting into your career to realize that this was a very iconic role for me?
I don't think, when Cujo first came out, it wasn't quite as popular as it's become over the years. And I think it's actually become more popular over the years because it's an original scary movie. There was no CGI, there's no green screen, there's no graphics, it's just actors actually acting very hard with an actual dog that looks like it's got rabies, so I think I'm finding a lot of people going back to the older horror movies because they're just so bored by what we've got now.
Yeah, the shock factor is almost gone now. Like, most of the things that have happened have been seen over and over. Like, I believe there was a bit of a revival with Saw, because that was something that was a little bit different than what was done. And then Blair Witch, mind you, these are the only two horror movies that I even know slightly whatsoever. Now, Cujo was one of those, from the mind of Stephen King with the story. Now, there's even been rumors, of a possible remake of that movie.
Yes, we just talked about it a couple of months ago. We did a reunion where Dee Wallace was there, and the guy who played my father, Daniel Kelly, and we talked about it. And to use Dee's words exactly, effing no. Like, it'll never happen. At least not with our involvement. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those movies you don't mess with.
You just want to leave it alone.
Yeah. And a new version's going to use a fake dog, a CGI dog. It's going to be graphics. And it's just not going to be the same. So we're not on board. No.
I bet on set, was that dog the most loving dog possible?
I honestly don't know. I wasn't allowed to interact with them.
Okay.
Because we had to sort of maintain that level of, if they saw me and started wagging their tail, then they're not going to do their job. So I couldn't interact. But yes, off camera, they were very good dogs, and they were really sweet dogs. Mm-hmm. I just never, ever got the chance.
Never got the chance to play with little Cujo.
To play with the nice dogs. Yeah, no.
So then that, now I'm going into my wheelhouse. So did your role in that open the door for Who's the Boss?
Yes. That's how my career has gone. Like, I was in a soap opera called Ask the Will Turns when I was like 2 to 4 years old, maybe about 5 maybe. And the producers of Cujo saw me in the soap opera and asked me to audition for the movie, and I got the part. And then the producers of Who's the Boss saw me in Cujo and asked me to audition for the part. So my previous work has always gotten me the next job.
Oh, excellent. Now, Who's the Boss? What is it? 100 and almost 200 episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, just shy of 200, and that's like umpteen seasons. That was one of those must-see TV. There was like where I was, it was Who's the Boss and Growing Pains, and that was your when sitcoms ruled.
Yeah.
Those were like a Tuesday night staple.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how do you feel sitcoms have turned from back then, what I kind of think of the golden age of sitcoms, to now, where it's kind of try to be a little bit edgy, but things really don't have the longevity that you had with that great story?
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, do we have sitcoms now?
Well, you have your Modern Family, I think.
Would you call it a sitcom, though? In the definition of it,
That's true.
I think sitcom is 3 camera, with a live audience.
Mm-hmm.
that's comedy. So I would say Modern Family is more comedy, and there's like 5 sitcoms on. The Connors, that's
the Connors.
What's that one with the
Last Man Standing?
Yeah, that I would consider in the sitcom genre. Everything else is comedy, and that if we were ever to do a Who's the Boss reboot, I think that we would want to do something more along the lines of Modern Family, like that single camera sort of version. Like, I don't think anyone would be on board to do the Fuller House idea, where it's just another 3-camera sitcom, light comedy thing. Like, these actors, I mean, Judith Light does not need to do a 3-camera sitcom. She needs, she's working hard. She's working, deep, big roles. So
now, was Who's the Boss filmed in front of the live audience?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, that's what makes it a part of that sort of memorable generation. There's so few of that now. I don't know. I think people have just changed. I think they're watching everything on Netflix. Netflix is trying to do some sort of live camera, 3-camera stuff, but it's just I think it's a generational thing partly.
Oh, 100%. Netflix is so changing the way that people watch TV. Like, the whole concept of the network is just kind of slowly fading away a little bit, and you really saw that in the award show this year, where so many TV shows where awards were given to your Amazon shows and your Netflix shows.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, I think part of it, too, is like the innocence of teenagers and children nowadays is so much more fleeting. Like, back in those generations, kids could maintain their innocent. They were sort of jolly and
definitely,
fun.
yes.
And so, like, they bought a sitcom like that sort of idea sort of worked for them. But now kids are so cynical and so sort of just exposed to stuff that they shouldn't be exposed to.
Exposed via the internet.
Yeah, via the internet. So a sitcom like Who's the Boss just doesn't work for them because they don't believe it. They don't get it. I don't know. I think it's...
There is, what? There is a culture out there that does kind of crave the things that were more wholesome back then. And that was one of those shows, it dealt with a couple issues, but it was fun. Yeah. It was fun to see the fish out of water of, having Tony and Sam, showing up at this, rich lady's house, and he's a former baseball player. He is now a housekeeper. And, just the interactions between that rough and tumble upbringing with this, kind of posh upbringing, and that just made for a great story, with your character as well being, we literally saw you grow up on television.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool if we could get back to sort of a more wholesome version of children. It'll never happen.
It was the days of riding your bike to your buddy's house and see what's going on instead of finding them online and playing a video game.
Exactly. Like, you actually had to go to their house to play games. Now you just get on Xbox and put your headphones on.
Now, with Who's the Boss, so you probably asked this question so many times. Who was the boss?
I've heard that many, oh God, too many times. In very inappropriate situations, I've heard that as well. Don't ask.
It's bringing me back to that scene in Mallrats.
Yes.
Who's your favorite new kid?
Yeah. No, something to do, something like that.
See, me, I gotta go with Mona. Everyone
has their own.
She brought something to that show that was just she's awesome.
Oh yeah, I don't have one. I would say that Tony probably thinks that, on set, Tony was definitely the sort of boss. He was the, guy who everybody sort of, the yes man for everybody. But Judith's the talented one, or the more, she's the real actress. So she was the boss of that, and teaching all the rest of us how to do our jobs better.
Great mentors, though. Being a child actor, great mentors growing up. So
couldn't get better than that. The best of the best, for sure.
So, what is it that now that you would happen to be doing? Are you still involved with show business?
No, not at all. I work for an animal shelter in Austin. I work for a no-kill shelter called Austin Pets Alive, and I actually am sort of a vet tech. I take care of all the sick cats. I give them their medicines and fluids and syringe feed them if I have to. And
now, for me to say, to me, that is, not knowing me, just meeting a couple minutes ago, that is one of the most admirable things I've heard from the people who are here. That is awesome. You did your thing, and now you're doing something that is truly good. So yeah, keep that up, and thank you so very much. I'd like to thank you for your time here at Frightmare on the Falls. I got to talk to someone not about horror stuff, and I love that. I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. So again, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your time here today.
Thank you. Have a great day.